Welcome to the Pizza Party. My name is Troy from troysweb.com. Visit my website for links to other YouTube channels that I am currently trying to populate with content because YouTube makes you divide things into categories and genres and niches and micro niches and atomic level microscopic niches, and yeah, it's not fun to deal with the YouTube angle of this. That's why I have a link right there in green that says Project Funding, 1,000 True Fans. That's what I'm looking for. So anyway, you can read all about that on the website, troysweb.com. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a pepperoni pizza in a cast iron pan. And, what more do you want? Well, what I want is a little less cook time because I have a tendency of overloading my pizzas and then overcooking my pizzas because there's so much material on there. I don't want the middle to be, soggy or uncooked, etc. I've achieved my goal. This thing is freaking beautiful. Look at the freaking circle, or what do you call it? Look at the freaking frico, the fried cheese, the frico lace edge of this. Now, unfortunately, it didn't survive the butter knife. When I cut this out of the pan, all the little loose particles fell away. But you'll see that. Stick around for the end of the video. Here it is, the 12-inch cast iron skillet and the 12-inch great value 2 original pizza crusts ready to bake thin. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I could not read the ingredients, so I took a photo and blew it up because the font on the package is teeny weeny itty bitty. So anyway, here we go. I used one of the shells, and then I took the other shell and I cut it up into 4 pieces because I want to make slices. Is it going to be a New York slice? No, because this crust doesn't lend itself towards being a New York thin crust, floppy, fold it in half and stuff it in your face kind of thing. But I did want to experiment with, random ideas. And I figured that's the best way to do it because I couldn't fit the 12-inch pizza crust in my refrigerator. So I cut it into 4 pieces and I'm going to bang out some slices. Stick around, watch more videos, subscribe to the channel so that you can see that coming up. And here you go. On the right, you can see the package of pizza crust. That's before I cut those individual slice pieces and ziplocked them for storage. But on the left hand side, you can see my tomato paste. Yeah, I said tomato paste because this is a very pasty tomato sauce that I made. I used a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and then I added actually way too much tomato paste. I was concerned with how thin and runny the crushed tomatoes were, so I added some tomato paste, and I mixed this up in a mason jar, and I have that on hand. It's in my fridge, and then I added some garden tomatoes because now it's just an amalgamation, but I started out too thin with just the crushed tomatoes, so I added some tomato paste, and I had put in too much. And then I diluted that with some garden tomatoes, so now I have something that nobody in the world will ever replicate, and it's not like I struck gold. So, it is what it is. This is a serviceable pizza with 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes and and way too much tomato paste. But I added in this photo, you can see I added a ton of Italian seasoning and oregano. And then here I added some olive oil. I have one of those silicone brushes, and I squished all of that oil out to the edge. I wanted to make sure that the top edge and the back side, the perimeter of this cast iron pan, right, this edge all the way around the crust, was going to be lubricated. So then I threw down a bunch of Parmesan cheese, and then I used my hands and I sprinkled this out of the bag in a circle, and then I used my hands and I squished it against the perimeter, the edges of the cast iron. Fool around, find out, right? The name of this channel is Pizza Guy DIY. I'm the pizza guy encouraging you to do it yourself. Fool around and find out, do something, even if it's wrong, or just do something. It might turn out wonderful. That's the beauty of this. So here you can see that I've spread the cheese around the edges. I've oiled out to the edges. The whole pan perimeter is soaking in oil. A little too much oil, but lesson learned, live and learn. do something, even if it's wrong. You're going to learn by the experience and do better next time. This is ground beef with a whole bunch of Italian seasonings in it, as well as a can of mushrooms. A lot of that olive oil came to the surface because I did a little pre-bake. I wanted to make sure that that perimeter cheese was going to melt, and I wanted to make sure the cheese on top of the meat was going to melt before I added the pepperonis. Woohoo! My goodness gracious, it turned out beautiful. I think that's a pretty picture. And here it is with the butter knife, the ever-present butter knife for scale. Have you ever heard the expression, what is it called? Something for scale. It's an internet meme. It's like taking an arrow to the knee. Yeah, well, it escapes me at the moment, but it'll hit me in 5 minutes. Or it'll hit me before the end of this video. Stick around to the end. I cut the pizza loose from the edge of the pan, and guess what? There was a lot of lubrication there, so it came out really easy. And here it is. There is a very nice looking pizza that it's pretty damn thick, bro. It's covered with cheese, it's covered with ground beef, then it's covered with more cheese, and then it's covered with a ton of sauce, cheese, ground beef, and then the peps on top. What more can you ask for? Well, you could ask for me to cut it up and enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to do in this little video segment. Here we go. All right, so the deal is done with the Walmart pizza crust, pre-baked, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of crunchy, but after you crunch it, it becomes kind of chewy. So it's interesting, and I can't say it's good, but it's interesting to experience that crispiness to chewiness. And a lot of the things that I've been hearing on YouTube, pizza guys, content creators for pizza, they're largely working in restaurants, and they talk about hydration and the percentage of flour and the poundage of flour. Really, dude, somebody at home is not going to make 2.2 kilos or 2 kilos or 4.4 pounds of pizza dough at a time. So it's really skewed, but this isn't bad. I'm going to eat it. There's a ton of sausage, a ton of cheese, as you saw in the previous still shots. But yeah, it's all good, dude. Rock and roll. Party on, Wayne. All right, that was a video live in the moment when I was making the pizza. I've got about 15 more videos to go before I start recording, live sessions of making my own dough, making my own fresh pizza from scratch, or, in some cases, some prepared ingredients. But you can't escape prepared ingredients. Prepared ingredients is freaking pepperoni, dude. Or buying Italian sausage that's already got Italian sausage seasoning in it. However, I don't know why our local stores don't carry. I want hot Italian sausage. They only carry mild, and they don't even carry it in ground form. Everything's in a tube, or everything is like a link, a sausage link, a brat, right? It's Italian sausage in a brat, or in a tube, like a brat or a hot dog. And I don't want that. Anyway, let's see if we can get the next video queued. All right, so on second thought, I should have mentioned that this crust, I should have shown you the crust, but it doesn't look so bad. However, I did put down a bunch of olive oil in the cast iron pan, and I'm gonna wipe this all out, but I put in a ton of oil, so this is kind of like a fried pizza crust. But it ain't bad, dude. I'm telling you, it's not bad. Fool around and find out. That's all I'm saying. As usual, that's all I'm saying. Do it yourself. Fool around and find out. Do something, even if it's wrong. You're going to learn from the experience. All right, so that's that. Coming up, I've got about 15 more videos of pizzas that I've previously made. Some of them will include a little bit of video like this, and eventually I will be doing live, well, not live video, but, real-time video, and starting from scratch with flour, yeast, water, oil, and making my own pizza dough, putting it in the fridge, pulling it out the next day, and banging out pizzas. That's my goal, is to come up with a plan to bang out Old Faithfuls every week. Whatever the heck flavor I want, whether it's pepperoni, pepperoni and sausage, sausage and mushroom, a supreme, or something funky. Today, I'm actually going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to make a white pizza. But it's not like any pizza bianca or anything that I've seen on the internet. It's my own creation for a white pizza. And why is that? Because I mistakenly bought a dough ball at the store. I found a place that sells dough balls, and they had the only one on the shelf a couple weeks ago was basil. No wait, basil. And then I went back a week later. The only one on the shelf was called white pizza crust for a white pizza. So I invented my own chicken Alfredo. Oh man, I gotta get some bacon. Yeah, oh man, I think that would go really good on this particular pizza that's coming up. Stick around, subscribe to the channel, click that like button, share this video with people that you are friends with. See that share button? You click that, it gives you a link, and then it opens up a little tiny window that says you want to send this link by email, text message, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. It's really cool. And then leave a positive comment, because the only reason I'm going to keep making videos is if somebody encourages me. Like, hey, I appreciate that you're doing something even if it's wrong. Keep coming back.